Hello there. I am popping in because I am making a year ahead spread for a client and I wanted to bring you into the process. I'm not going to show you necessarily her cards because they're her cards, but I wanted to take you through my process when someone purchases a year ahead spread, what I'm doing and how each spread is unique for that particular individual. A year ahead spread, I use the Animal Spirit cards. This is a deck that I got from Moonbird Pottery a few years back. And there's a really sweet book that accompanies it to tell you about all of the cards. And the deck itself looks like this. So if you listen to the Yoke and Abundance Wise Women podcast, you know that I pull a card most of the time. This is the deck for all of the people that come on the podcast, and it gives us a little way to some common language. It gives us something fun. It gives us an icebreaker. I also really love using these cards with my clients. So typically speaking, if you do a power hour with me or if you're doing any coaching with me, we start out those sessions with two things. So first, I always want to know what's going well. That's kind of a positive psychology technique to get us in a really positive frame of mind. And then I pull an animal spirit card because the animal spirit cards give me a lens of where the client's at. So if you do, get a one card spread, it's going to give you some insight and it's going to give you a lens to look at where you are in life. And so a year ahead spread itself is a way to frame each month, to give you a little bit more perspective, to give you something interesting to look forward to looking at each month. Often, so when I do these spreads, I take a picture. You'll see me do that in just a little bit, but I take a picture of the spread that I do, and I get a lot of people that say that they print out that picture and they put it on their desk or they put it somewhere that they'll see it so that they can be reminded of what each month is and what the theme for the year is, because there's always a theme for the year. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So I've got my deck, and what I'm going to do is I have I like to set this up do it in my living room. This is the Buddha bungalow. I'm kind of surrounded by, I got some crystals that I'll put out on this spread. It's just energy, certain types of energy that I want to be present as I'm working on this. And I like the energy of my bungalow. Earlier today, I saged and the room smells like San Paulo and a little bit of sage. And I just feel like the energy is clear and open and ready for what I'm supposed to be sharing. But I like to shuffle 3 times. So that's what I'm going to start by doing. I'm going to shuffle this deck 3 times. And right now I'm really thinking about the person who I'm pulling this year ahead spread for. So I've got that person at the forefront of my mind right now. And I think intentionality is really important. So my intentionality is that she's going to get the card. She's going to see what she most needs to see in these cards. And that's my intention for her today. So I have that thought in my head, and I'm just going to take a couple big, deep breaths. I'm just calling to mind her energy and calling to mind what she needs to see right now. And then I'm taking my left hand and I'm cutting the deck into a few different piles, and then I'm going to restack this deck. And now I'm going to start with the month that she wanted me to start with up at the top, and I'm going to go clockwise. So I'm just going to count off in my head. August, September, October, November, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So I just need to double check and make sure I have that right. Okay, so I have that right. So I've pulled 12 cards. So one card for each of the upcoming months. And I always start with either the current month or the month ahead, whatever was requested in the order form. And then I'm just going to cut the deck one more time. And in this case, now I'm pulling the theme for the year. So this is the theme for the person's year ahead spread, and that's the card in the middle. And oh, okay, so I just am really excited about what this person just got for their personal year ahead spread. And then I like to add crystals to go along with that. I just like to make the picture as pretty as possible, but also, you know, I picked different types of crystals that represent different things. And you know, isn't that color so beautiful? And we'll bring in different energies into what it is that they're receiving. And then I take a picture of the year ahead spread. And so this picture is going to be sent to them along with a summary of all of the elements that were present in their reading, a summary of what each of the cards for each of the different months are going to be, and then what their middle card was for their theme for the year. And then when I'll look at this and kind of analyze what I'm seeing here from an overall perspective. So for example, you know, are there any spirit cards that came up? So there's 7 spirit cards in the deck, and those spirit cards, they mean that like grace is surrounding a situation, and they correspond with the 7 chakras. So it means that something in one of those areas is going to be brought up during that particular time. And what does that mean in conjunction with the overall spread? Or, you know, are there a lot of fire cards, which means the heat is on, and that means that we are having like an ego evolution. It's like the dissolving of the ego if there's a lot of fire cards coming up. Or are there a lot of water cards? Is there going to be something in our creative life flowing around? So if you have a lot of water cards, water means that it's tapping into your flow, your creativity, your emotional life, your, you know, love, relationships, flow. That would be what water would be. Significant. You know, earth. Is there a lot of earth? Is there a lot of grounding? Is there a lot of, do we need to sink in? Do we need to dig into roots? Do we need slow walks in nature? If there were a whole bunch of air cards, creatures of the air are known to see more than others. So do you have perception and intuition? Do you see things that others aren't paying attention to? And if that's the case, if that's what's happening, you know, in those instances, if you've got a lot of air, sometimes the speed at which you move can leave you ungrounded. And so that means that you might need more earth. You might need more, you know, to get your feet back on the ground, so to speak. So, you know, I take a look at that and all of what I'm seeing as far as the different quarters of the year and which elements are present. And I give what my thoughts are of what that means for you in the upcoming 12 months. So I hope this piqued your interest on ordering a year ahead spread. I mean, a year ahead spread can be something fun and nourishing that you do for yourself, that you order for yourself. It makes a great gift for other people. So if you have someone in your life that you think could really use something fun and encouraging, this is a fantastic gift that you can share with them. It's We also have a few other things besides the year ahead spread. So I could pull just a card for you if you're just wondering kind of the energy of the moment, the energy of the day. I do a past, present, future spread, and I do a spread, the obstacle and the path. So those are a couple different options that you have available. It's not a big part of my practice, the cards, but I do love sharing them for what I think it can help unlock and unfold within yourself. So I hope that this was fun for you to follow along and watch. If I've piqued your interest, take a look at, check in on the link for the year ahead spread. I would love to send one to you or to a friend. And if you have any questions about it, just send me a PM. I'd love to know what your thoughts are and what you think of this. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.